We've been gone for 2 weeks, but we're back, and the mustache is here to stay, if you were wondering. I've told a few people that I'm getting rid of it, but I'm sticking it out, and I'm going to run this thing into the ground.
Love it.
Welcome to Bend, Oregon. Beautiful place, beautiful travels over the past 2 weeks, and thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of the Vanture podcast. What's up, everybody? We're hanging out in the most magical place in the entire world, and I've fallen in love, and I've decided that we're going to move here.
So he thinks.
Bend, Oregon. If you haven't heard of it, if you haven't been here, I highly suggest it. Mm-hmm. It is
magical.
The mecca of van life. It's the mecca of outdoor experiences.
Yeah.
It is good vibes, good energy, small town feel still, which is becoming our favorite thing in the absolute world.
Yeah.
Our favorite thing in the absolute world.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Meaning just context instead of big cities.
Yeah, instead of big cities, which you just we can't stand.
No.
But yeah, we're in Bend, Oregon. We've stayed a couple days here. We were only anticipating a 2-day
2 days
run, but we've been here for 4 and probably will be here for 6. But we've had a great run over the past couple of weeks.
It's been a while.
The last episode was 2 weeks ago, so I think that's now our schedule. Every 2 weeks feels way more appropriate than every week.
Yep.
We just don't have the content.
No, I don't think it's not the content. It's the capacity within.
Yes. Because it's a lot. It's a commitment. Like, we got to sit down. We got to be on it. Mm-hmm. We got to make sure we know what we're talking about. And we have to have video clips ready. We have to have the intro done.
Yeah. And I'm just not about that. I want to be able to enjoy ourselves and really take everything in day by day because, sadly, we're 6 weeks in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. his whole face changes. We still have 10 weeks to go.
Yeah. But recording every week is tough.
It's just too much.
We're not going to do it. But anyway, we left off in Grand Teton, we should just crack these, right? Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Deschutes.
Local brewery.
Bend, Oregon.
Highly suggest it.
So, Grand Teton.
Awesome
stop. Saw my buddy Nick from college. It's been a year since I've seen him. He's just a magical individual.
Yeah.
A great soul.
We got to spend 2 days with him.
Yep. Saw his mom and his grandma. Yeah. Camped out for a couple days. Beautiful scenery. Mm-hmm. One of our favorite stops, I would say, as far as national parks go, mainly. And then we went to Island Park, Idaho, which was really just a overnight stay for us as we headed up to Flathead Lake, which is in Montana. And Flathead Lake is the lake that has the rainbow-colored stones on the shoreline, which you think would be natural and Instagram-worthy.
Leading up to it, I was so excited because I've seen so many photos, which at this point I feel like might be doctored, unless we just weren't in the right place. But I don't know. And then we read like there's a little buzzing in my ear.
It's probably the beer.
Do you hear that? I took one sip. Anyway, yeah, so we might not have been in the right place, but we read like a little diagram that was just explaining about it. And before, there was really no beachfront, and they put all of these rocks in. So it's not natural, which really let me down. But
yeah, but you've seen it on Instagram.
It just looks way cooler. Yeah, Instagram versus reality situation.
100%, which is a lot of the places we've gone, to be honest. But Polson, Montana, which is at the southern tip of Flathead Lake. We stayed there. We stayed at a hotel, R&R, king-size bed, laundry.
Shout out to who?
Shout out to you. You found a great deal. We were dying. Yeah. On the way, we're driving from Island Park up to Flathead, and we were going to stop in Missoula, Montana for the night at a Cracker Barrel. And we just looked at each other and we're like,
can't do it.
We need a hotel tonight.
Yeah.
And she did some research. We found one, and the joy that we had in that moment.
Yeah.
We were like, 2 nights? We should do 1 night? We should do 2 nights? Let's book it. We need it.
Yeah.
And it was just what we were looking for at that point.
Instantly went from like, oh my God, we've been in the car for 3.5, 4 hours, going on almost 5, to just, let's get there. Like, it was the best feeling ever.
Yeah. And
at that point, we had been in the van, I think, for 3 weeks. Every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So we just needed a little break.
And so did Joby. That's another dog. Yeah. So, yeah, we went to Polson for 2 days, saw Flathead Lake, and then we went to Glacier National Park, which was just as cool as Teton, I would say. We camped in the outback. We were right next to a mountain, and it was very secluded. Like, there wasn't any...
It was remote.
Camp staff or...
No.
People around to help you if something crazy happened. So initially we were a little overwhelmed, but there was a few rangers that would come through here and there, which made us feel good. But immediately upon our arrival, we were greeted with mountain goats in the street.
I've never seen a mountain goat.
Which are adorable.
They eat wood.
Yeah.
We'll get there in a second, but they definitely eat wood.
Yeah, they are timid, and they were just hanging out, so we weren't very...
Just like they maintain eye contact like no other animal I've ever experienced. Like Joby really maintains eye contact. No, these mountain goats, it was like I wasn't looking away. We were having a full-on staring contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really...
They were neat. And then we were greeted by several moose right away. On the intro video to the podcast, you'll see a moose on our campsite, which is pretty cool.
It was so
There were
cool.
some folks there that do this for a living. Like, they're on the road, they're older, they're professional hikers and mountaineers or whatever.
It didn't even faze them.
Yeah, well, they were, I'm kind of going to say the opposite of that. They were just like, we got to stand back, we got to be careful. Like, they were just as impressed, I think, with seeing them as we were.
Are you talking about the couple that we met?
Yeah.
Which
I thought was cool because to us it was a first time seeing that, but for them it was...
Yeah. They had all the names like the bucks or the...
Yeah, the calves and
the calves and the mamanitas, or I don't know. They were really going in about the names, and I was just like, yes, I know everything you're saying.
So that was cool. We had a little issue with the van where we were not charging properly.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Because normally while you're driving, the alternator charges the house batteries as well as the van battery up front. And for some reason it stopped doing that, and we didn't have hookups there, so we had to get creative and figure out how to fix it. And it was...
What am I doing? I'm the meme. Like the...
Yeah, just all the math equations. So we're trying to figure that out. And I'm
by
messaging...
we, he means... Just him.
Yeah, I'm messaging the guy who built the van and YouTube videos, and eventually a couple days later we were able to fix it. But we weren't able to stay as long as we wanted at Glacier because we didn't have the power necessary to run the van and be safe and have heat and all that stuff. So we had our fire and hung out.
Austin, the mountain ranger, did let us plug into shore power. Is that right? Shore power?
But it was limited and didn't do us any good.
Well, it was for like 3 minutes, but that was just to confirm that if we were to leave and get a place where we could plug in, we would be fine.
Right.
So, thank you, Austin, mountain ranger.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, so you're at the southern tip of Glacier right now. If you go up to the main entrance and you drive through, there is a spot that grizzlies have been spotted hanging out near the road over the past couple days. So we immediately dropped everything we were doing. We're on a mission to see a grizzly bear. Yeah. And we drove up there an hour and a half, and we parked, and we waited, and we waited.
We were like...
And we waited.
Where are they?
Not a grizzly bear.
Not a single one.
And it's crazy, too, because we drove through Yellowstone, we drove through Glacier, two major national parks where bears are obviously prominent. Yeah. And we didn't see any wildlife.
Nick gave us bear spray like we were going to need it at Teton. And I was like, oh, yeah, we need
But he even
this.
said he works in the park. Yeah. And he's seen, there's been 2 sightings in his campground where he works.
I mean, no one really wishes to see a bear, but I'd like to be driving in my vehicle.
Yeah, I'm prepared for that, and we want to see it.
Yeah.
No luck, though.
We'll just have a little bear pop out right here in the video.
Yeah, and this is not bear territory anymore. But
act scared.
I'm done with you. So we headed from there up to Canada.
Yep.
Crossed the border, went to Calgary.
Cheat.
And Calgary was just another major city that we're, again, not really big fans of.
Let's
Lots
talk
of
about
traffic.
crossing that border.
Yeah, tell us about it.
I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to the Buffalo border.
Yeah,
Niagara Falls border. And it's very populated. Nope. This, I feel like you could have walked across and no one would have said a thing.
Yeah.
It was very remote, very farmland. And yeah, I don't know.
She kind of just let us go through.
Yeah, she really did. I don't know. They just ask such weird questions, but I'm going to YouTube.
Yeah, they're like, what do you do for work? And you're like, what does that have to do with what I'm doing right now going into Canada?
I don't know. No, that was
They just
the
like
guy
to stump
back.
you. They just like to stump you. They have a list of questions that they ask, and sometimes they'll ask the same one, sometimes it'll change.
They did ask for Joby's rabies vaccination. Thank God, because I brought it. I did my research ahead of time, and it said you needed it.
You could have handed her. You could have handed her a receipt from a grocery store, and she'd have been like, "This is true. This is good."
Probably would have. Okay, let's talk about what we got though on the way to Calgary. Where did we stop?
Yeah,
the Golden Arches.
The Golden Arches. McDonald's in Canada is different than McDonald's in the U.S. We've realized.
Way better.
The quality of the food.
Mm-hmm.
They really from a marketing standpoint, they really target like healthy, 100% Canadian grown chicken and beef, and just the employees there significantly nicer.
The buildings aren't trash.
Yeah, the whole place is just, there's families in there with their kids, and it's just like a night out.
It's their outing, yeah.
And it was cool. And they have snack wraps. And we've missed those for 15 years. So we got snack wraps, and we had a party in the van on the highway eating those.
We had way too many.
So special.
Way too many.
Yeah. They have a buffalo chicken one, your regular ranch snack wrap.
The best one.
I'm not sure why they got rid of it in the U.S., but Canada still has it. Yep. So we went there, and then we went to Calgary, hung out in a parking lot. And this was amazing to me. Canada is really, really showing us how...
I would help you. I just don't know what you're going to say.
How much they have it together. I don't know how else to put it. Like they, from the McDonald's situation, which is a big deal in my opinion, to us pulling up to a casino in Calgary where we know we can park overnight because they're open 24/7. We pull up in the parking lot, and every single spot in the parking lot has a plug. And at this point, as we told you, there was an issue with the power, and we pull up to a parking lot expecting there to be no power. And sure enough, there's just a plug in a parking lot for us to plug into.
Like what?
So we're like, dude, this place is amazing.
Yep.
Shout out to the big Canada.
The big Canada.
It's thick.
She's thick.
So Calgary, thick. She thick slim. So we spent the night there, which was really just a pit stop for us to get to Banff, which was number one on my list.
Yep.
Going into this trip. Beautiful turquoise water, mountains, cool little ski town, breweries, restaurants, all the things we love so much. And then we get there, and it's just tourist city. It happened to be Thanksgiving weekend for Canada.
Happy Thanksgiving, but terrible for us.
Terrible timing.
We just don't love to be around that many people at once. So... I mean, it was a little bit of a downer.
It was. Agreed.
But I mean, it was beautiful. I would love to go back when it's not Canadian Thanksgiving.
I feel like Banff is that way all the time.
Okay, so I'll probably never go back.
Yeah. It was rough. Like, there's people from all over the world.
Which is amazing.
Which is great.
It's amazing.
I guess I just didn't realize how popular that destination is for everyone.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We were there for a couple days. We did what we wanted to do. We saw the beautiful lake. We ate at some cool spots. We had a cool campground.
Freezing.
It's very cold. And then we just kind of scooted out of there.
Yeah, we did. Well, so we wanted to go to Louise Lake?
Yeah, Lake Louise.
Lake Louise. On our way out. Drove there and should have listened to the articles that we read leading up to it. We drove there. We didn't want to take a shuttle. We wanted to just drive ourselves. They let us drive all the way up to the lake, but they had closed down the parking. So we were turned around, and then we're like, okay, well, I guess we're going to have to take the shuttle. So we drove a couple miles back down to the main town, parked to take the shuttle, walk up. It's $50 per person to take the shuttle. We look at each other and we're like, absolutely not.
Cash grab.
Yeah. So we were like, well, I guess we're not going to see this in person. However, a really nice bartender at one of the breweries that we went to suggested Emerald Lake. He said it's less populated. It's 45 minutes longer, but less people. So from there, and I will be honest, I was like, 45 minutes out of the way from the U.S. border.
Right.
So north instead of south.
She was so fired up.
Me?
Yeah, that morning.
Oh, this is like making me have inside
I'm in the
burps.
same
I
boat.
apologize, people. Yeah, I just didn't want to drive 45 minutes out of the way after we have already driven 45 minutes out of the way. So it was an additional hour and a half to get back down. However, looking back, I'm glad that we did it. I'm glad that we went. It was absolutely beautiful. We did a hike. Joby got so dirty, but he loved every second of it. Breathtaking. I mean, the water was like a mirror.
Reflective,
glass.
yeah, turquoise,
You could just
beautiful.
see the mountain from the water. I don't know. It was beautiful.
Yeah, definitely a bucket list place. We checked that box, but
Yep.
it wasn't like Bend, Oregon, where we're
We'll
just
get there.
we love this place.
Yeah.
So we continued back down to the U.S. and we stopped in.
Creedmoor. No.
Starts with a C. Cranberry.
Cranbrook.
Cranbrook.
Yep.
BC.
And I found.
Yeah, just take it away. This is all you. I want you to get all the credit here.
Well, I don't want to get too into detail because it's part of one of my segments.
Okay.
However, I booked a KOA. Jack is very against KOAs because they're just very commercial. It's just not the vibe he's going for. I totally understand that with campers all around you. But I'm like, it's just one night. We just need to sleep here, break up the 6-hour drive. So we'll drive 3 hours to the KOA. We did. We get there. There's maybe 30 people camping, which I think most of them actually lived there. And there's so many sites open. We get our site and we're like, wow, this is pretty nice. Then we start exploring. And she's like, do you guys plan to, what did she say? Use the amenities?
At the resort.
Yeah. And we were like, I don't know. Sure, maybe. So she gave us this little pass. Come to find out, there's a resort that's up the hill. And if you book a stay at the KOA, which is like $40, you get to use all their amenities.
Sauna.
Yep.
Steam room. Heated pool.
Mm-hmm.
Hot tub.
Gym.
Casino.
Restaurants.
Golf course. I mean, it was
amazing.
It was unreal. And we're sitting in the hot tub in the pool or whatever it was that evening. Like, this is what an amazing find. We're in the middle of nowhere, BC, on our way back to the States.
Yeah.
And we find this place, which is honestly hitting harder than Banff.
Yeah, it really was,
Like,
which is so depressing to say
Yeah.
out loud. But like, we're just simple people.
Yeah.
And we're loners, let's be honest.
And it was perfect for us. It was the middle of nowhere. And we
Remember
ended up...
that one guy was like, you guys going to make some money? I'm like, nope, we're going to get a beverage.
Yeah.
Like, don't talk to us.
Yeah.
We don't want to be talked to.
We're not here to chat. So we ended up staying an extra night there because we were so impressed and we wanted to make sure we got the full experience.
The showers at the KOA,
Unreal.
it was like a full bathroom. I had a vanity.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was living.
Yeah.
Truly living.
Towels and just luxury.
Yeah.
Luxury life.
Luxury camping life. It was glamping.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
shout out to KOA for that one. We were very impressed.
Yeah.
And then we made our way back down to...
Oh God. I mean, it's 2 weeks long. I've really got to check this.
Idaho.
sheet.
I just don't know how to say it.
Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene. Coeur d'Alene, which was recommended to us by someone at a brewery back in Fargo.
Before we Googled it, though, what were we calling it?
What were you calling it?
Croque Madame.
Croque Madame. So we meant to Croque Madame, recommended by a guy. He's like, I've always wanted to go there. It's in Idaho. It's on a lake.
Yeah.
Beautiful little town. So we went there for the day, had lunch. She worked. And then we were going to spend the night in Coeur d'Alene
Yeah.
because they had a Cracker Barrel. But we decided that Trader Joe's was on our agenda. So we drove to Spokane, Washington, just to go to Trader Joe's, which I know seems a little aggressive. But
It was only 30 minutes.
we hadn't been to Trader Joe's in a while, and we realized that's our spot. That's our spot for this
we
trip.
were craving the Scandinavian swimmers.
Yeah. Yeah. And the pumpkin muffins. So Trader Joe's is the best. That's where we get all our stuff from, or are trying to, but we didn't have one in Montana, and the majority of Idaho doesn't have them. So
Yes.
we went to
Boise
Spokane,
is
stayed
the
at
only
the
location.
casino parking lot, went to Trader Joe's, went to the spa.
Oh yeah.
in Spokane at the casino.
I got a facial.
Got a massage, much needed in this bed. Cramped up, tight, everything hurts. And
can't you tell? Am I glowing?
You are glowing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you did that because I know you didn't want to.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to spend the money, and he was like, "No, we're doing this." Yeah. And I'm thankful that you pushed me.
Yep. That. So we spent a couple days there. We had a really good time. But then I realized I wanted to get back to the outback.
Yeah.
And we left Spokane and just beelined it down to Bend. We were going to stop on the way, but we wanted to get here, and it was a 6-hour drive, and why not? So we passed Mount Hood, which was cool. And then we realized that camping in Bend, which is one of the perks of this place, in the National Forest is free. So everyone who has a van, I mean, every other car on the street in Bend is a van. Yes. Everybody here is doing the same thing. Everyone's outside. Everyone's camping. Mountain biking is huge, which is awesome. Hiking. The downtown area is so awesome.
So cool.
The breweries are great.
Like you belong. I don't know.
The breakfast burritos.
Oh, everything.
The people, the style, the swag. I mean, it's just the place to be, and I want to buy a house here for forever.
He wants to move here, which... Unfortunately, we're just at a point in our lives where that's not going to happen. However, we could get a small, tiny home here and come out a few months out of the year.
It's on the agenda. We'll work on that next year, but
don't worry, to our family in North Carolina, we're not moving here. But we may have a house here that you can come visit.
That we can rent out and make it make sense.
Yeah.
So we camped, dispersed camping.
So cool.
BLM land, which is just a free-for-all park. You camp. Doesn't cost anything.
And just like you feel so safe and just, again, welcome.
There's there's school buses converted, ambulances that are converted, regular vans like what we have, RVs, you name it. They're all kind of parked in the same area.
Awesome.
We hiked up to Tumalo Falls, and that was beautiful. And we've just extended our stay another day. We're going to go to Mount Shasta in California today. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to go to Tahoe, which is on my list of places that I want to go see.
I know.
And we're going to skip over it because we want to stay in Bend for an extra couple days, which is fine. So we'll be here all day tomorrow. And then we're headed over to the Salt Lake area, which we'll get to. So we're rambling. Here we are again, deep in conversation, deep in minutes here.
It's okay.
So jumping into our segments. Hopefully I got these buttons right, but we'll start with the OG.
Find the joy.
Why don't you take it away?
Find the joy.
Yeah.
I got two things.
Okay. No,
I'm going to say one.
Number one.
Staple is just seeing Nick Alfieri. I mean, great dude. Haven't seen him in years. We picked up where we left off. He's just an incredible soul, living out in Teton, traveled the country in his car for a year. We're hoping to have him on the podcast because we might meet back up in Phoenix area when he's there with his girlfriend. But just catching up on the years we've missed and learning about his story and everything he's been up to, and just sharing good conversation,
it was
multiple
special.
times. He took time out of his day to come see us, and we're very appreciative of it. So great to see Nick. Number two, I would say, is just a moment in time.
I love that you're doing this. He hated this when I first did it.
Number two for me is going to be when we got the snack wraps and we're ripping it on whatever road it was up to Calgary. We're in the middle of Farmtown, Calgary, Canada, back roads, and we're ripping these snack wraps in Jupiter. What's that? Who's thing? Train? I think it's. We'll See or something is the name of the song, but that came on and we're
shooting star. How'd you make it to the
Milky Way to see the lights up? Yeah, that song.
I don't know.
Comes on and we're singing it, and it's just the best. So that was a really joyous moment for me.
Oh, cute. Yeah. I love that. Okay. I wrote mine down ahead of time because I really had to unpack the last 2 weeks. Funny enough, I also have
I love that you did this.
Yeah.
You planned and prepped and prepared.
Well, 2 weeks is a lot. I really feel like I have brain fog sometimes. But I also have 2 joy moments.
Yeah.
So, number one, going back to the KOA. That's why I didn't want to get too much into it. But, inside burp.
He's trying to get out.
Sorry. I think I'm allergic to beer. Let's just pause for a second. I think I'm allergic to beer. I don't know. I have 1 beer, I'm okay. So we're on 1, I'm okay. I have 2, and I start to sneeze.
Yeah, like, big IPA girl, too.
And I love...
You got any IPAs? Yes, ma'am. We have several on the menu here. I'm going to have one of those.
Hazy IPA.
I want a hazy, please.
Okay, anyway, getting back to Find the Joy. So the KOA, after Banff, I was kind of just defeated because I feel like we didn't get the full experience that we were both expecting and wanting. I think that we hyped it up a lot in our minds and then we were let down. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when we get to St. Eugene, the KOA, it was just so relaxing. Oh my God. I can't have beer anymore, I don't think. Yeah, that was my Find the Joy. Remember I said to you, this is the best day of my life? And you were like, the best day of your life? I was like, yeah.
With this campground and this pool. But it was clean and...
Oh my God, it was just everything I needed after that whole experience. Not that it was terrible, but anyway. Second one, corner number 2, would be the hike yesterday. I really enjoyed that. Getting outside, and 6 miles might not seem like a lot, but for non-avid hikers... You know, you're really dipping your toes there in the water.
We're locked in now, though.
Yeah, locked in. We have the shoes for it, so we have to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my...
We have North Face sneakers, so it's game on.
They're hiking sneakers, aren't they?
You're right.
I mean, the suction is unreal. Yeah. Okay, so those are my 2 moments. Next segment... I don't know what button.
Find the Joy.
Just did that one. That's okay.
It's tapas time.
Ooh. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, rip it up. I got to think about mine right now.
I prepared.
Okay.
I still have inside burps. But my tapas time would be, maybe you don't know. Obviously, snack wraps are wonderful, but I can't say that.
Yep.
I have just been introduced to, you have a bug on your lip, pierogies.
A bug on my mustache.
Oh, you're at your stash. I know this might sound crazy that I've never had a pierogi, and if I have, Mom and Dad, they weren't memorable. However, these ones, insane. We got a platter of like random pierogies. What's wrong?
I'm just looking at the battery. You're good.
Oh. Random pierogies, all different flavors, 6 of them. Give you a little sour cream, some caramelized onions. I was in heaven. And every place we've gone to in Bend since, I've like, where are the pierogies?
Yeah, pierogies are lit.
Tomorrow, I'll be getting pierogies for lunch for sure.
They're so good. They have them at like Wegmans frozen, but...
I know, but I feel like those aren't going to be nearly as good. Yeah, I've seen them in the blue box.
We've OD'd on some pierogies. We've had a lot.
Yeah, but they're just delicious, so... Come to Bend and get pierogies. Specifically, go to Big Ski.
Broski.
Oh, Broski Pierogies. It's a food truck. Love a food
and
truck.
Bend Brewing had a special this weekend. Or yesterday, really, because we went back today hoping we could get some more, but unfortunately they're all out. But they had a special for them, too. So
what
it must be
yours?
like a thing. I was going to say the snack wrap, but we kind of blew that up. So I'm going to go with...
I feel like I have a second one for you if you don't remember.
Probably burger.
Oh, well, then I have a third, but tell us about the burger.
Well, we've had 2 burgers since we've been here. We had a food truck smash burger and we had the Bend Brewery burger twice. I had it again today. So I'm locked in with that thing. It tastes like a Bill Gray's hamburger, cheeseburger. It was phenomenal.
So good.
And we've been so dead from Teton to now as far as food goes. Bend, nothing to write home about. Anywhere in Canada.
Bend, nothing to write home about.
I mean, Teton through Banff.
Well, we've been eating a lot at home.
Canada,
Now
and
we
then
OD'd
Spokane.
on eating out.
The Asian food that we had at the casino in Spokane. Spokane?
You really think that was...
I thought that was good.
Oh,
I'm sticking with the smash burgers here in Bend.
The
cuisine here is phenom.
Okay, you're forgetting about one thing that you loved here.
What is that?
The breakfast burrito.
Oh, yeah, the breakfast burrito. Burrito Sunshine. Yellow truck.
It
Unreal.
Was sunshine.
Yeah, just the food in Bend. That's where I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. Okay.
Is what it is.
All right. Next.
Our newest segment. We've recorded this. We're very excited about it. Bear with us as you get your ears prepared.
It's not always rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise. It moves us along. Yeah.
It's the for me. If you're wondering.
That really gets me too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, you're so worried
Okay.
about time, and you're just gonna go for 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? Or do you
No, I
me
want you to go first.
Okay, so I would say my lowest moment was probably yesterday, which is so funny because you can have highs and lows all in the same day.
You can.
And I really am not someone typically that compares myself to other people or cares about what I'm wearing per se.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Yesterday, I don't know what was happening. I don't know if it was hormones. Sorry, TMI, could have been. But I got so down on myself. I changed 3 times after already being out in the outfit I was out in. We won't even tell you what I was wearing because I'm so ashamed. I was just having such a moment, and I was having such a low, and I was like, oh my God, living out of a 75 square foot van, and I don't have my whole closet, which even if I had my whole closet, I think.
Kind of busted, yeah.
Yeah, my closet is busted.
You're an it girl, okay?
I'm an it girl without being an it girl. That's what I've decided. But I was at such a low. However, I have come out. And I have decided, I haven't come out. I have decided.
Wouldn't that be a story for the books?
No.
And it was on the podcast.
I've decided that I really want to, and he's going to giggle, I want to get into thrifting like for real. I've said this for a long time, but I truly mean it. I really, really do. And I think that now is the perfect time to do it because we're traveling and there's a lot of thrift stores that we're going to be going by, and it's my opportunity. So I am taking that low, I'm going to turn it into a high, and I'm going to become a thrifter. I think. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that made any sense, but
it works. I'm here for you.
Okay. I know you are. You were so sweet yesterday.
This segment is more so like, what are the downsides of this adventure? Right? Oh,
but well, I think the part of that I'm talking about is living in such a small space.
I would agree with that.
And not having the clothes that you want.
I think mine's on the same path as yours.
Okay.
Just knowing how rare this opportunity is to take this trip. I've been dreaming about this for a long time, had, the tough conversations, made it happen, saved the money, did all the things that we needed to do to make this official. And now that we're 2 months into the trip, it's just a lot of times I'm sitting there thinking like, this is going to be over soon. Have you executed on everything you imagined this would be? And my expectations of myself have been so high that I think it's just a little bit defeating sometimes when I'm like, okay, well, yesterday we just drove all day, or we're tired, we slept in, and we didn't really do anything today. We need to do more excursions. We need more. When someone comes to you and says, well, what did you do? What was the highlight of these places you went? And it's like, well, we didn't do a whole lot. We were just kind of took it all in and camped and whatever. So I just think my expectations of what this trip would be are so high that I worry that I won't be able to accomplish them in the long run. But I've thought about it.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the day, even if we just hopped in this van for 4 months, traveled the country and sat in the van and never left, that would still be an accomplishment.
Yeah.
And people that are living regular lives through this experience would dream to just do that.
Absolutely.
So not putting too much pressure on myself. I wanted to go paragliding, parasailing, paragliding, in Jackson Hole, but it was like $1,000 to do for 2 people. And it's like, but that'd be a great story and once in a lifetime opportunity. But it's like, we're on a budget. We need to make sure we're in a, in a good spot. And a lot of those things are going to be impossible. And we did pack the trip front end pretty heavy as far as like concerts and comedy shows and stuff. And we're getting into some stuff these upcoming weeks and it'll be great. But a lot of times I've always got to find something to worry about. And
always. But it's how we balance each other out because I am never worried about anything.
Yeah.
Ever.
And when I'm thriving, having the best year of my life, I'm always going to be like, oh.
Yeah, so
what would it be like to do this full time and be able to stay in these places for longer than a day? And maybe we jam-packed the trip and we went to too many destinations and we should have slowed it down. And all these thoughts are like,
what are we doing right now? We're slowing it down a little bit. We're staying here way longer than intended. But that's what I'm here for. Just
100%.
to bring you down
Balance.
to earth.
Balance.
Mhm.
Some days I'm 80 and she's 20. Some days she's 80 and I'm 20. Did I?
Yeah. I love that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Okay. Well,
So moving forward, we're way over time again. But we only post every 2 weeks, so why not go 60 minutes? We should just keep ripping. So we're going to skip Shasta. We're going to skip Tahoe, unfortunately. But it was so expensive and there was nowhere for us to stay, and it just didn't feel right, and what to see the lake. And
I think the only highlight that we really have to talk about for the upcoming week is there's just one thing. And who are we seeing? Finally?
King Louie.
Oh,
Lou
Uncle
Bags.
Louie.
Chef Lou.
Joby, Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou? Are we going to see Uncle Lou? Yeah.
He's not here yet, bud.
Not yet. A few days.
Yeah, Lou's taking time out of his busy life to come see us.
For almost a week.
So he's flying into Salt Lake. We're going to travel down to Zion and Bryce and Grand Canyon and all this stuff. We're going to camp out. We're going to bring him into our world for a few days. We're going to have a blast. So we're excited about that. Then we're going to wrap our way around through Joshua Tree, through Arizona, and we'll get to that at a later date. And
I think the next time that we talk, I think I'm going to be third take.
Thank you guys for watching. We love you, and we can't wait to see you all again one day.
Love you, mean it.